Tallow. It is super popular. I don't think you can deny that. If you're on any sort of social media, you see tallow everywhere. I've been a huge fan of tallow for years. I used to make my own tallow. Probably like 6-7 years ago, I started rendering my own beef fat to make tallow. And I was making my own balms and lotions and soaps. And I didn't render it very well or properly when I first started making it. And I would go to the gym with my brother and he would tell me I smelled like beef when I started sweating, and he didn't want to go to the gym anymore with me. So I learned quickly how to render it properly and how to make tallow stuff easily. Obviously, there's tallow and we have to be aware of the different tallows that are out there and the different materials. You need a good source of beef fat to make a good quality tallow. My mom, when I started rendering tallow and making my own tallow stuff, she had this memory come back to her from her childhood of her grandma making tallow-based products. She'd make candles and balms and soaps and everything out of tallow, and she remembers the smell of the beef fat rendering, which is not a great smell. I don't recommend doing it in your house if you're rendering your own beef fat. You can cook with it. It's great for your skin because it has properties that are more akin to our natural skin. And a big thing for me with skincare in general, and I'm not saying I have this beautiful Korean glass skin style skin by any means, but the biggest thing for me is I started using more oils on my face. I had teenage hormonal acne, and they were like, you need to strip all the oils off your skin, off your face, use all of these acids, salicylic acid being the most common usually, and it destroyed my skin. My skin was red and it was irritated, and I was swimming also competitively at the same time. So the combination of like living in a pool with chlorine and then stripping my skin with salicylic acid based cleansers and lotions was terrible. So it took me a long time into my adulthood to realize that I actually needed oil on my skin. I have very naturally oily skin, but adding oil helps balance my oil. This is the brand that I use right now. This is Based Supplies Tallow and Honey Balm. I love this stuff. The texture is really great. The smell is really neutral. There's no essential oils in this. This brand is Ancestral Cosmetics. I bought a lot of their different stuff. These are the two that I have left. I bought their Sun Balm, which I think actually made my skin burn, but that's a different story. And I didn't mind this. This is a tallow and honey balm too, but this has essential oils in it. It has some frankincense, neroli, sandalwood, rose, patchouli. So it has a bunch of different oils in it. The smell is quite nice, but the texture isn't as nice as the stuff that I'm using now. I think was the biggest thing that I didn't love it. But again, tallow-based repair after skin balms, I would call them. All of these are great. I would say my favorite by far is the original Maracay Moo. It's methylene blue infused. It has coconut oil. You can see it melted, but it has this blue color. If you do, I will, word of warning, it does get on your clothes. Urta Organic, their tallow is probably the best smelling and texture tallow I've ever used. It just is really hard to get it into Canada. Also F-Balm, which is a Canadian company, I really like their stuff. I used to use it all the time, and I just switched to this stuff to try it, and have been using this for about a year. So F-Balm is also a really great brand, and I do have a sunscreen one too, which I am going to get for an upcoming trip. So tallow, here is a tub I just bought from the farmer's market the other weekend because I'm going to be making my annual batch of tallow soap. So I needed new tallow, but I'd love to cook with this. Actually, I just made some fried potatoes that I used the tallow with, which were delicious, and I highly recommend it. So it's really great. It has a really high smoke point. So when you're cooking, it's really great. And then you can make all this amazing skincare and other products from it. You can make candles with this too. A lot of candles are poison, which deserves a whole other video to talk about. My family always judges me because whenever they buy candles, they're like, oh, is this an approved candle? And I'm like, no, if it's not beeswax or tallow, it's poison. We're having another video where I actually make the soap because it's really easy to do, to make your own soap. And you know then what's going into your product, into the finished product, and then therefore what's going onto your skin, which is very important for me, which is why I really like these brands that I use, because I can read the ingredients. There's no crazy ingredients or chemical formulas in them. They are what they say they are, and I think that is really what's important, is going back to the basics. And if it worked generally for thousands of years to be smearing beef fat on your face, it's good enough for me. And pick up some tallow if you're not already on the tallow train. I am a huge, huge supporter of it. So thanks for watching.